Let's head over to the Sun Bowl. 2.5-point favorites are Louisville. The question is the wrong team favorite here, right? Louisville's got a, as well as Jeff Brom is an amazing coach. All right, we talk about him. Probably, if you were to actually force me to list coaches, like, to me, he is a top 5 lock head coach and play caller in college football. Lock, okay, for me.
In-game coaching, I'll agree with that for
Yes,
sure. I
yes,
think
yes.
sometimes how he handles the high school ranks sometimes gets me going, but I do think he's at
But
Louisville too.
we're just talking about previewing a game, right? Jeff Brom,
Couple weeks to prepare.
couple weeks to prepare. Now here's the thing. No Tyler Shuck. I think that's a big deal. No Colin Lacey. We haven't seen him. Whatever. Oh, actually, he's on the depth chart.
Yeah, so there is question about him. He's listed as the starter, right?
But he hasn't been great. The bigger one is Ja'Cory Brooks, right?
Yeah.
And Amari Huggins-Bruce, both guys. We'll first talk about Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, we talked about it right away. We both were like, man, everyone's ooling and Googling over, Colin Lacey because they saw that he had 1,000 yards, with South Alabama, right? In an offense where, quite frankly, he probably wasn't even the best receiver in that offense. He just happened to have the most yards. Ja'Cory Brooks, dude, is so good. And he was so good. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened, right, at Alabama. It just didn't work out later on there. But this guy got on the field as a true freshman at Alabama at receiver. And he comes in and he just absolutely wipes the floor with everyone in the ACC. And he's out. Tyler Shuck is out. You're looking at Harrison Bailey, right? Because Pearson Clark, I believe, in the portal. Allen also, Brady Allen in the portal as well. So you're looking at Harrison Bailey.
I think Pearson Clarkson. I think he withdrew. I think he went in.
Okay,
he withdrew. Let me double
either
check
way,
that,
he's what, a true freshman or true sophomore? He's true sophomore.
Redshirt by now. Yeah.
Whatever the case is, yeah, you're looking at a different set of quarterbacks here. Now, the problem with that for Washington is that, yeah, Jeff Brom has a month to prepare, right? And he can get his guys going, right? But we also saw the Jeff Brom Purdue team without Aiden O'Connell and Charlie Jones, right? And what happened against LSU, right? Different talent gap there, obviously, but that was a Purdue team that made the Big Ten championship, right? Like, that was a good Purdue team. But losing Aiden O'Connell and Charlie Jones and others too, I believe you lost your tight end as well in that game. But it was bad. It was bad. So I'm not sure what's going to happen right here, but I'm not feeling very confident in Louisville's offense. For Washington on the other side, I don't think that you had terrible quarterback play down the stretch. It wasn't great this year, but I don't think it was terrible.
No. So Damon Williams actually got the start against Oregon. So welcome to college football. You're going to go to Eugene and play the number 1 team in the country. And, he did some nice things early. You could see they scripted some things up for him. They had him protected in the pocket. He didn't take a sack that whole first half. And you saw the offense moved a little bit, right, which was awesome to see. Obviously, the difficulty of play will drop, right, going from Eugene and against Oregon versus this Louisville team, especially if you've got a couple opt-outs like Ashton Gillette and no cornerback, Quincy Riley there for you, which is tough. He's a nice athlete, though. He moves well. I like how he throws in the pocket. I like how he throws off platform, rolling out. They've got some nice wide receivers there. If Jonah Coleman's playing, he's pretty damn good. Also, I like Adam Muhammad, the young kid, as well. The only thing that worries me, and plus you get Maxim McCree back, right? The left tackle for you. The only thing that worries me is going to be defensively, right? Because Harrison Bailey, he was not great, right? I don't know how good he is right now. I think a couple years under, wow, I'm totally forgetting his name. The head coach for Louisville, Jeff Brom. Wow, it is late here. We're recording. A couple years under Jeff Brom will help him for sure. But I do think getting after him, I did not love his pocket presence at all. You get after him, you're going to affect his picture, his things, all that kind of good stuff there, disrupting the quarterback and the flow of play of that offense. But you're missing, three defensive linemen. You're missing the House, your linebacker as well, Kamori House. A couple guys where if all of a sudden...
But you're not missing your coach, your defensive backs, or your defensive coordinator.
So Belichick will stay with the team before leaving for North Carolina, which is great. And also, I do love that Fish says no one's going to opt out, which is awesome, right? It tells me you're bought in, and it tells me you want to go to El Paso and get a win. Plus, El Paso is a place, too, where not that we have to worry about it with either of these teams, but you're not going to be hungover for the game, I don't think, right? It's not Vegas. It's not New Orleans. It's not,
No.
um, Myrtle Beach. It's not anything like that, but it'll be interesting there. I think this line is Louisville minus 2.5. And I like Washington this game. And I'll
Me
take them to
too,
win
dude.
as well. They're really good against the pass, right? Already. And if you're missing a couple wide receivers, it could be trouble. And I think Shuck's really freaking good. Like Shuck was awesome this year. Shuck is awesome when he plays. And I think there's going to be a severe drop back from Shuck to Bailey. And some things that Shuck could, cover up with his talent and what he does offensively for you. I get it. The best player in this game is probably Isaac Brown, right? That's true freshman. No, maybe the most dynamic player is probably Isaac Brown and what he can do offensively. I know Washington is susceptible against the run. That does concern me a little bit, especially if Harrison Bailey doesn't have to do too much and he can just hand the ball off to Isaac Brown and they can kind of go after it. And you're missing the defensive lineman there. But I don't know. I still like Washington in the spot.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. I know that they had good metrics. I'm still not sure if I'm totally sold on Washington's pass defense as a whole, right? Like Michigan didn't have to throw the ball. Or sorry, they can't
They
throw the
couldn't
ball,
throw the
right?
ball.
Rutgers couldn't throw the ball early on in the season. Iowa didn't need to throw the ball at all against them. Indiana,
Backup quarterback.
backup quarterback, right? Uh, Penn State didn't need to throw the ball on them. I'm just saying, like, the metrics, I don't know if I necessarily think that they directly coincide with how I feel about this Washington secondary. I will say that I am concerned about this run defense, and if they do commit to running the ball with Isaac Brown, I mean, did he average like 7 yards a carry? So there's only like 3 running backs in college football that average 7 yards a carry, and one of them was a true freshman, and his name's Isaac Brown, and he's playing in the Sun Bowl. So that is a huge concern. I'm with you on Washington plus 2.5, but you have to be so conscious about Isaac Brown, especially like you talked about. I don't necessarily think. I think pass rush is a big deal, right? But I think more importantly, right, you got to find a way to stop Isaac Brown because you know that that's what they're going to try to do early on in the game. And if you're missing a lot of guys in the front seven, it could be bad. So I'll take Washington plus 2.5, and I'll take them to win. But I don't feel good about it for that reason. I really don't. So
And you also got Duke Watson too, another true freshman or another freshman for Louisville, who had 57 carries, averaged 9 yards per carry, had 7 touchdowns, super explosive. Last 3 games, right?
7 yards a carry for rushers that had over 100 carries, I think, or
Yes,
something like that.
yes, 100. Yes,
All
thank
running
you.
backs.
Well, yeah. So there's some qualifications, which is really impressive that lasted. But I'm saying Duke Watson too, another
Mm-hmm.
super explosive kid, 6 feet, 180 pounds. Right against Stanford, had 11 carries, 100 plus yards. For Pitt, he averaged 6.3 yards per carry. Against Kentucky, he had 6 carries, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for Washington. You said, and stop the run, and then figure things out. If early in the game and Louisville's shredding them, right, it could be tough. It could be really tough.